This beautiful town is located in the Chernivtsi Oblast, in the historic Bukovyna region of western Ukraine. Welcome to the charming town of Kitsman. This time, we take a virtual trip to the interesting and beautiful town of Kitsman in the Chernivtsi region of Ukraine. The town is situated on the banks of the small river Sovitsia, a tributary of the Prut. The E85 motorway runs through the town: Chernivtsi, Ternopil, Lutsk, Kovel. There is also a railway station in the city. The distance from Chernivtsi to the town of Kitsman is only 22 kilometers on a good asphalt road. A trip to Kitman will leave you with an indescribable impression. This town successfully combines the spirit of the past with the present, creating a unique atmosphere that attracts tourists and those who like to discover new horizons. The Austrian era left a significant mark on the city's architecture. Walking through the old streets, you will see houses from the late 19th and early 20th centuries. They are well preserved, although they are all administrative buildings. Today, the town has almost 6,000 inhabitants. Kitsman is closely associated with the life of the great Ukrainian composer, Volodymyr Ivasyuk, the author of famous Ukrainian pop hits. His songs greatly boosted the national spirit of Ukrainians, for which the Soviet authorities took revenge on the composer. It is believed that KGB officers tortured Ivasyuk in a forest near Lviv. This tragic event marked the history of Ukraine and became a symbol of the struggle for freedom and self-expression. Walking around the city, you will immediately feel the special charm of this town. The cobbled streets invite you to adventure and reveal the mysterious stories of its past. In November 1944, Kitsman Agricultural College was established on the site of a former high school to train local people for agricultural development. The first intake of students took place in the school building, and the first graduation was held in 1948. Kitsman is also famous for its hospitality and traditional cuisine. In the local cafes and restaurants, you can enjoy authentic Bukovyna dishes, famous for their harmony of flavors. Historians consider several versions of the origin of the name Kitsman. According to one of them, the word Kitsman may be derived from the Bukovynian word kots, a type of carpet. This is due to the fact that the town was home to carpet weavers, and their products gave the settlement a special flavor. Another explanation links the name to the male name Kozma. According to this version, the town could have been named after a person named Kozma. There is also a version that the name Kitsman may have come from the surname Kotsman. According to this story, a man with the surname Koshman was a basket maker and used vine or willow for this purpose. These different explanations suggest that the name Kitsman may have different historical roots, reflecting the diversity of trades and origins of the town's inhabitants in the past. The first written mention of Kitsman dates back to 1413. At that time, the Moldavian ruler Alexander the Good wrote a charter in which he gave his mother-in-law Anastasia a large settlement with all its villages. This document shows that Kitsman was already an important settlement. Its location at the crossroads between the Dniester and Prut valleys contributed to its development. The town experienced a particular boom during the transfer of the Bukovyna lands to the Austrian Empire in the second half of the 18th century. In 1788, the biggest fair in Bukovyna was opened here. Every year, more than 8,000 cattle and 40,000 pigs were brought to the fair. The products of Bukovyna craftsmen were exported to Vienna, Prague, Olmutz, and other cities. In 1780, the first elementary school in Bukovyna was opened. In the second half of the 18th century, trade and crafts developed. In 1798, Bukovyna received the status of a town, which was officially registered in 1902. In June 1917, the town was captured by the Austro-German troops, and in November 1918 by the Royal Romanians. After the Second World War, Kitsman came under Soviet occupation. There is an interesting legend about the origin of the name of this beautiful town. 450 years ago, there was a large settlement called Segot in the northeastern part of today's Kitsmani. At that time, there were fierce battles with the Turks and Tatars. After the Turks were defeated, they fled and came across the settlement of Segot. The Turks destroyed everything in their path in order to leave a bare land after their retreat. The village was burnt to the ground, and the men, who had bravely defended themselves, were killed. The rest of the population, mostly women, who managed to survive and stay alive, hid in the forest that grew on the territory of the present-day town of Kitsman. Later, the Turks managed to find this new settlement in the forest, where the survivors were hiding. One of the Turks approached a woman called Kitsa. He wanted a pickle, but the brave woman pointed to a barrel and said, "Take it yourself if you want it so much." There were few pickles left in the barrel, only at the bottom. The Turk bent down to the barrel, and the Kitsa woman grabbed his legs and began to drown him in the barrel. The Turk shouted for a long time, "Kitsa man! Kitsa man!" Since then, this picturesque town has been called Kitsman.